Today we are in this dark dungeon and I'm gonna show you why in just a moment. We're installing Justin's hood pins with his VIS Racing Sports hood. A lot of people recommend you installing hood pins if you have a carbon fiber hood. The reason being is a lot of times the factory hood latch is attached by maybe suboptimal ways. Carbon fiber, while it is strong in tensile strength, sometimes if you get like a big wind gust, extra ventilation, it could pull the hood up. I've seen it happen before, not in person, but heard of it happening. So hood pins are a great way to do it, just more things holding the hood down. Now, the tough thing with hood pins is not only where to drill the hole for the pin itself, but more importantly, where to drill the hole in the hood and not drilling too much or in the wrong spot because then you look like a wanker. I looked at a few different videos online of like where to put it. A lot of people have been putting it in this hole that already exists. We thought about using this hole, but if you get to the other side, there's not that same hole drilled, and this one is at like a flat angle, whereas this side metal is tilted. So we wanted to go with the same thing, and more importantly, we wanted to make sure that we didn't end up on one of these body line or contours, because the hood latch is flat, these are contoured, so it would have looked pretty. What I thought of was Jordan actually rigged this, the man behind the camera, for lighting that we used yesterday, and I said, hey, we have a laser level, we have this beautiful contraption, so why don't we just use that for drilling both the hood pin and the latch itself. So what I ended up doing was, initially, I was going to drill and do the hood pin in the same crosshair, but obviously since this metal is slanted, that would have thrown the angle off, or like where the hood latch would actually go. So what we ended up doing was I drilled the hood pin hole where I thought it should go, a nice spot right here. And then what I did was I threaded it as much as I thought it would be to get through the hood. Now what I did was initially I threaded it more. When I put the hood down, I didn't feel any contact. So I extended the threads, pushed it down, and I just felt a little bit of touch when I got pretty close. So I know that at this point it should be fairly close to where it's going to sit once we have the hood totally down. And then what I ended up doing was I just used my hand here after I tightened it all the way to get pretty close to where this is gonna sit. Now, as I go further down, obviously, the crosshairs are like all the way over here, but you can see in the shadow, it is covered by the top of the pin. And if I get closer with my hand, as it blinks at me, it's pretty much centered to where that's gonna be. I'll probably end up moving the ladder one more time just to make sure it's like dead on. But once we know that this height is similar to where it will sit, we know that the crosshairs will show where this pin is going to be under the carbon fiber. So when we mark where to drill the hole for the carbon fiber, I feel very confident that it's going to be there and that we only have to cut this once, which is extremely important. So once we have this side done, what I'll probably end up doing is making a template based off the headlight bolt of where this is going to sit with like a piece of cardboard. And that way I can just flip it over and put it on this side and drill the same spot. And that way, side to side, we're looking nice. So the reason it's dark in here is because I need to see the laser to know where to drill. So I lined the edge of this up with the edge here. I drew a line for the top just to make sure I was dead on there and cut this out. So if I flip this to the other side, it should fit similar. I'm gonna test that out now just to make sure before I do anything crazy. Yeah, that's looking pretty good to me, brother. I hope this works because I'm feeling very confident right now. Justin, man, I f***ed up, dude. I felt really good. Can you guys hold that for me? I don't want to put it in the engine bay. It's got a drill bit. The hot dog juggle. All right, hand her over. So before I use the towel to make sure that no metal shards went in my, this time I'm just gonna vacuum them up as we cut. Oh, dude, yeah, here. Stop fumbling it. All right, for the finesse, don't put that down yet. My deburr tool. How I had the driver's side adjusted. I'm just gonna match the passenger side to that because I know that'll give us a more accurate representation of what we're looking like here. That's good enough. And I'm gonna be installing these, and that way, once I drill some holes, installing these, I will recalibrate our beautiful laser level to match the top of these pins. So I'll start with one side, match the top, lower the hood, drill that, and then do the same with the other side. And then obviously the first time we'll check and just make sure this theory is going to work correctly. I always get super nervous about dropping hardware in the engine bay because it's not fun to take it out. You gotta take the whole engine out to get to the hardware that you dropped. Oh, I got it, dude. All right, didn't have to take the engine out. So that's what we're gonna rock with for now because I will have to adjust the pitch or the rotation of this. This one, I am definitely taking off this snorkel. According to online DIYers, their best way to do this is just hit the hood with the pin until you get a little mark on the hood. But once again, because of the angle of this, I have seen a few of those people drill incorrectly. So what I have planned for today is gonna be just slightly moving this over to match what we got going on here. I know we're gonna get a perfect fit because I don't like cutting carbon fiber multiple times. Yeah, that's looking pretty dead on to me. Yeah, that's good. We have to drill all this out, this teardrop shape. If I am off by a few millimeters, that's fine. Not worried about it. We have to remove all this material. So you get a little wiggle room on this one, but closer the better. So I will be starting off with a pilot hole to ensure that this makes sense. After that, I will be using a Dremel with a full N95 face mask because cutting carbon fiber is pretty nasty stuff. I used to do it without anything on, but eyes.
How you turned out.
Ready? Oh, I think you just want to get me blowing this. When I drilled the first hole, I obviously wanted to be at a 90-degree angle from this. So instead of drilling down like this, I could slip, and obviously carbon fiber is not the most forgiving when it comes to the finish. So I did want to drill at this angle, but now that I'm through that first layer, we have the inside layer to do. I am going to drill at the angle that we want, which is straight down in order to touch that pin. Oh my goodness. Brother, science, maths, physics. You call me up. I hit equations regularly. One done, one to go. I think we're pretty good. I can see the hood pins here. They haven't come fully through and they're not supposed to. These latches here recess into the hood and then meet the pin. So I think this is pretty close. If we do need to extend them a little bit, that's fine. We can do that. And what I'm gonna do, I initially was gonna just try to trace this with a Sharpie and hold this straight, but I think what I'm actually gonna do is put this on the bottom first and then be able to trace that. Seems a little easier to me. Okay, so I have chosen to follow this body line here for the rotation of the latches as opposed to this one. First off, this one is curved, so I don't think it would look especially good. And secondly, this one is closer to the latch itself. So I think if we follow that line, we'll be looking pretty right. Oh my God, it's our friendly neighborhood tuner, Kevin Nash. Look at his hair, it's beautiful. Look at that. Look at it. Look at it right now. Hey, Kev. Hey. Hey, what's just turn to your left, your right a little bit. Look at that hair, dude. Look at that thing flying in the wind. Wow, dude. The Jedi Master, like a Padawan. What is that called? Wow, dude.
Completely missed them. What? What I missed?
Nothing. No, you're good. It was perfect. No, it was perfect. But I figure it's a good way. So I just went side to side and made a very scientific measurement of this far. And then I went to the other side and it was a little bit lower. So I just took another measurement of this with the pin. I rotated it to what I think it'd sit more realistically at. I did raise it a bit. It's about right there now, which is just below, but I think like 1 millimeter or 2 from side to side. As long as the pin is gonna fit correctly, I'd prioritize the function of this. Just because the angle of the pins, you're not gonna tell. You're not gonna tell. Brother, I don't wanna talk about, so I got the blue pins in there like they were, but the issue was when I closed the hood and test fit the latch on it, I had to like really push the hood like all the way down to get it to latch. It's like, okay, well, it works. It's just a little wonky. But when we went to close the hood, there was like a crazy, it was like this gap, like a drop to the hood. And I just didn't think that looked good. So what we realized was the JD Customs hood latch, I don't know if there's like a mistake or something like that. They look beautiful, but they're a little shorter. So I'm sure if we use these like further up, like maybe like up here, it wouldn't have had a problem. But like I said, I think that's personally the spot for them if we had a little length. I did look on their website and it did compare the two. And on their site, it showed that they were the same length. So I'm hoping that they do have another size I let Justin know. He said just put it aside for now, put the red ones in because these will work. And he's gonna let them know about that. He said they're super cool people. He's worked with them on a couple different projects, so they'll make it right. We're done, baby brother. All I did was put the latch on there. I Sharpied where the holes would go. There are some nuts that go on the, like a collar piece on the bottom. I did have to clearance some of this in order to make room for that collar piece. Just tighten it down. There is obviously like a gradual slope to the hood, but the plastic is pretty forgiving. It'll kind of go where you want it to. So yeah, I felt a little sketchy tightening the front and back ones. They're sitting pretty nice. I did put this back on. And honestly, the big reason for this is just security. We're gonna have the car overnight here, and I wanted somebody just being able to pop his hood open. So it's up to him if he wants to run this or not. The cool part is the hood will latch before it locks. You have to like really push it down to lock it. What he could always do is just use the hood pins and have this latched for security, but he doesn't have to lock it all the way. Because if it did lock, you'd have to come out, undo the hood pins, go back in, pop the hood, come back out, unlatch it, and then open it. It's just a lot. How it is right now, it's secure and it's like less of a pain in the butt. If you guys have any questions about this install particularly, please comment below. I know it's there's no like 100% like scientific way to go about it, but I think our method worked really well compared to a lot of the videos that I saw of people making mistakes. If you guys want us to do any videos on obscure things like this, I wouldn't say this is a common modification, but if you do, let us know. And if you guys are looking for any dress-up bolts like this, we do sell dress-up bolts on our website. You can check those out. And the hood latches, maybe we'll toss them up there. If you guys want them, let us know in the comments. And until the next video, we'll see you on the streets.